First of all, that you should never stop trying. We started this war in 2005.
Yes.
All through. Again, it started here with Dr. Besigye.
Yes.
When Uganda Law Society instructed us to commence constitutional proceedings against the court-martial. We attacked some parts. We did not succeed with some. The next was the Lord Mayor, who was supposed to be removed from the list
KCCA.
of contenders in KCCA on account that he was convicted together with his colleague here with an offense which the people termed at that time as one involving moral turpitude. They were fined 1,000 shillings in coins, each of them, and quite a number of others. It has been a long journey. It's to Mushabe Joseph and so on and so forth. And this has been used as a scarecrow to suffocate dissent in this country. If you knew the hundreds of young men detained in various prisons, and those are the lucky ones who did not die, detained in various prisons for wearing a red beret, for wearing a red overall, and so on and so forth. So far, at least as of today, speaks, people must run away. So never stop trying. We pray for those that have suffered injustice in the hands of the court-martial. We have consistently, persistently, and perennially been describing this as a kangaroo outfit, as a kangaroo establishment. If we were to go back today, notwithstanding the uneasiness with which we receive it as a subordinate court, I would address General Freeman Mugabe as Mr. Chairman of the subordinate court, then see how he would react, since he doesn't want to describe it as a tribunal. For Ugandans, keep trying, never give up. We shall overcome one day. Someday we will get there. I want to congratulate Honorable Michael Kabaziguruka, because I think all swords had been drawn to clear him. He was supposed to. Now that he's here, now that he has survived, I think he has also taken on the mantle on behalf of many, many silent Ugandans. There are only two people that are dangerous and choose to keep quiet. And the people who do not have destroyed us. To the court, I think there were voices that expressed concern. The tone could have gone overboard. They had legitimate concerns. They are not all lawyers. Some actually did not know what was happening. The turbulence that the court has gone through, the frustrations, the death, the retirement, the failure to appoint justices of the Supreme Court, which is certainly not the mandate of this honorable court. We stand with those that have been grieving, those that have been crying, those that have expressed themselves. Now that this is over, we can walk back and exercise our democratic rights. I can tell you that this struggle continues on all the fronts. On the legal front, we shall still come back and confront the description of that thing, even as a subordinate court. In Parliament, we shall stand there and ensure that as they come back to amend the UPDF Act, or even the Constitution, they do not transgress. Those are values that we stand for, and we hold them so dear onto our hearts. Outside court, outside Parliament, please continue exercising your democratic rights, especially now that the scarecrow is down.
Of Monday has been declared unconstitutional.
And any continuous...
So it's not possible because they are directed where Dr. Besigye and Obedi have to appeal. So now it cannot,
they don't even have the powers.
They don't have powers to convene again.
They have been disbanded.
Exactly. So literally,
and any detention now is illegal.
In effect, the court has been disbanded. No, you see, the in as much as it's subordinate, it reconstitutes in accordance with the dictates of the Constitution. So they cannot proceed on Monday. So that is the position.
And not even to reconstitute and proceed with these cases. These ones have been terminated. Yes.
Because that is, and I mean, I shouldn't even be calling it a court, because the Supreme Court has clearly said it does not. It is even not a tribunal. It is something just there. So we are very glad, and we salute our comrades who refuse to plead guilty. Those 9 people who refuse to plead guilty. We have Bobby Young, who is still in detention, and many others who are still facing charges. Our comrade Achileo is still facing charges before that military court, and others. So we are very glad with this ruling. We hope, like my brother Lop said here, that General Museveni will now not devise means of trying to defeat this court ruling. But also this is a win for the people of Karamoja. Every time you go to Chitaria, you find hundreds of people from Karamoja who are taken to those military courts without any trial, and then taken to Chitaria. They spend there years and years without trial, without even going back to court. We am
here to applaud the Supreme Court for this foundational, for this class decision that I have put down today. It is so instrumental to especially some of us who treasure jurisprudence. It is going to go a long way in shaping the jurisprudence of our country, especially the trial of civilians before the General Court Martial. Many have been tried and they have been subjected to the unfair processes before this outfit that has been holding out as a court of law. Well, we appreciate the Supreme Court for putting it out clearly that this is not a court of law. It is going to go a long way in shaping the constitutional history, in shaping the constitutional development in our country. And it is going to go further, a mileage, to shape, to restore the respect of the Constitutional Court, the respect of our judges, and the respect of the Supreme Court. Many people have started losing hope in the delays, in so many things, and the interpretations that come from this court, especially on this very subject, because we've had over 10 contradicting decisions, which were not putting out the position of the law clearly. But now it has set the record clear, and we would like to appreciate court for that.
A military court tries civilians, and we are glad that has come through very clearly in court. We are glad that the Supreme Court has listened to the voices of Ugandans over time, because the people of Uganda have spoken again and again, and it's important that when people speak, the courts get to listen. We are also glad that it's not just civilians that have benefited from this, but even serving military officers, because a number of them have been persecuted through the General Court Martial, and they had no recourse anywhere. They could not appeal. Because you see, the General Court Martial, they are the complainants, then they are the prosecutors in the General Court Martial. They are the ones that sit on the panel, the tribunal, to determine a matter. When you appeal to, again, a team of military fellows. It becomes problematic, and they also execute the same sentences, yeah? It is problematic in and of every sense. So we are glad that that has been rectified. Our hope is that now this court order will be followed with immediacy. Because many times courts of law issue orders and they are disregarded. People have been freed on bail and they are arrested within court precincts. Many times you've had General Museveni say, you courts, you want to take us back to those days, and that kind of thing. Our hope is that the court order will be respected with immediacy. Briefly, in Uganda,